You probably learned this rule before you could even read. Don't eat your Halloween candy until your parents check it. No one ever explained why. You were just told it was dangerous. But dangerous how? Because if the stories you grew up believing were true, then Halloween should be one of the most lethal nights of the year. Neighborhoods should be crime scenes. Emergency rooms should overflow every October 31st. And yet, they don't. So where did this fear really come from? And why has it survived for decades, passed down from parent to child like an inherited instinct? Tonight, this isn't a ghost story. It's a real story. A story about panic, about media, about one crime that permanently rewired how America thinks about Halloween. This is the true story behind the poisoned Halloween candy panic. Picture America in the early 1970s. Suburbs are growing. Neighborhoods are close-knit. Kids play outside until the streetlights come on. Doors are unlocked. Neighbors know each other's names. Halloween is simple. Children run freely from house to house. Candy is often homemade. Apples, popcorn balls, caramel treats, wrapped in wax paper by strangers who feel like family. There's no fear in it. Halloween is trust in costume form. And that's exactly why what happened next shattered something fundamental. October 31st, 1974. Pasadena, Texas. It's late evening. The streets are quiet but festive. Porch lights glow. Plastic pumpkins swing from small hands. An 8-year-old boy named Timothy O'Brien is out trick-or-treating with his father and siblings. Nothing unusual happens. No suspicious houses. No strange neighbors. No warnings. They return home like millions of families across America. A normal Halloween. Less than an hour later, Timothy is dead. It happens fast. Timothy complains of a stomachache. His father gives him candy to distract him. A pixie sticks, powdered sugar, harmless. Within minutes, Timothy collapses. He's rushed to the hospital. Doctors try everything. Nothing works. The cause of death is cyanide poisoning, a lethal dose, inside Halloween candy. By the time the sun rises, the story is already out of control. A child poisoned on Halloween. That sentence alone is enough. People don't wait for details. They don't ask questions. They fill in the blanks themselves. A stranger did this. A monster. Someone hiding behind a friendly smile. The fear spreads faster than the truth ever could. Police flood the neighborhood. Media crews arrive. Headlines explode. Poisoned Halloween candy kills child. Parents across America read those words and feel something shift. Something primal. Halloween stops being harmless. Candy stops being safe. Strangers stop being neighbors. Here's what most people never processed. The poison didn't come from a stranger. It never left the house. Timothy's father, Ronald O'Bryan, had taken out multiple life insurance policies on his children just weeks before Halloween. He was deeply in debt. He planned the murder. He laced the pixie sticks with cyanide himself. He handed it to his own son. The investigation moved quickly. The evidence was overwhelming. Ronald O'Bryan was arrested, convicted, and eventually executed. The truth was clear. There was no poisoned neighborhood. There was no killer handing out candy. It was a single, calculated crime. And that should have been the end of the story. But it wasn't, because the public didn't remember the facts. They remembered the fear. They remembered the image. A child dying from Halloween candy. And once that image lodged itself into the American mind, it became almost impossible to remove. After 1974, something strange began to happen. Every Halloween season, new stories appeared. Razor blades in apples, needles hidden in candy bars, poisoned chocolates, glass shards in treats. Police departments issued warnings. Schools sent letters home. Doctors gave interviews urging caution. Halloween slowly transformed from freedom into supervision. But when investigators examined these reports, they noticed something unsettling. They didn't hold up. There were no confirmed cases of children being killed by poisoned Halloween candy given by strangers. Not one. Some reports were hoaxes. Some were accidents that occurred days later and were blamed on candy out of fear. Some involved children injuring themselves and panicking. In several cases, parents themselves planted objects in candy, convinced danger was everywhere. The threat wasn't real. The panic was. This is how fear works. Once the idea exists, it doesn't need evidence to survive. It needs repetition. Local news stations played a critical role. Every October, the same segments returned. Dramatic music, grainy footage, X-rays of candy bars, serious warnings delivered with urgency. Check your child's candy. The message was never specific. Check it for what? No one ever said, because fear works better when it's vague. By the late 1970s, Halloween had changed permanently. Homemade treats disappeared. Factory-sealed candy became the norm. Trick-or-treating hours were restricted. Community events replaced neighborhood wandering. Children were escorted, supervised, monitored. Halloween didn't become safer. It became controlled. Psychologists later gave this phenomenon a name: moral panic. It happens when a society becomes convinced that a threat is widespread and imminent, even when evidence says otherwise. One shocking event becomes symbolic. The details stop mattering. The feeling takes over. The poisoned candy panic wasn't really about Halloween. It was about something deeper: trust. In the 1970s, America was already losing it. Vietnam, Watergate, rising crime rates, economic uncertainty. The idea that danger lived everywhere felt believable. Halloween just became the perfect vessel for that fear. Here's the part most people don't like to confront. The real danger to children has almost never come from strangers. It comes from people they know, from homes, from family, from trusted spaces. But that truth is uncomfortable. It's easier to believe evil lives outside. It's easier to fear the unknown. So America chose a safer story. Evil wears costumes. Evil knocks on doors. Evil comes from strangers. That story was easier to digest than reality. By the 1980s and 90s, the poisoned candy fear was no longer questioned. It was tradition. Parents who had grown up afraid passed the fear down. Children learned it before they understood it. And fear learned in childhood doesn't need logic to survive. It becomes instinct. Even today, most people can't explain why they check Halloween candy. They just know they're supposed to. The story has outlived its origin. So ask yourself this: if there have been no verified cases of strangers killing children with poisoned Halloween candy, why does the fear remain so strong? Because fear doesn't disappear when facts arrive. It disappears when culture changes. And this one never did. Halloween didn't become dangerous because of strangers. It became dangerous because one rare crime was allowed to redefine reality. Because media repeated it. Because fear spread faster than truth. Because panic feels like protection. And maybe that's the real horror. Not poisoned candy, but how easily fear can rewrite behavior. How one lie built on one crime can reshape an entire tradition. And how we continue to teach it, year after year, without ever asking why. So the next time you pour candy onto a kitchen table, the next time you inspect wrappers under bright lights, ask yourself, are you protecting children from danger? Or from a story that never really happened the way we were told? If this story made you rethink something you've believed your whole life, hit the like button. Subscribe for more real stories where fear, psychology, and history collide. And comment below, do you think the poisoned Halloween candy panic was protection, or the most successful scare America ever told itself? I'll see you in the next one.